I just went on the most magical trip with my parents to Japan in autumn. Earlier in November, I took my parents on a road trip around Japan in 12 days, covering all of Nagoya, Kanazawa, Tateyama, Toyama, Lake Biwa, Osaka, and Kobe. We got to stay in one of Japan's biggest Airbnbs, and we also got to see snow, which made my parents really excited. I also went back to visit my old Japan hometown, a small little town that I've stayed close to nearly 8 months. So come along with me on this journey as I take you through our 12-day road trip around some of Japan's most beautiful parts, especially in autumn.
Don't forget to watch till the end where I share tips on how to navigate Japan's roads safely and efficiently. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe down at the bottom.
On our first full day, we drove out of Nagoya city to chase some autumn colors. The best views are always out of the city and in nature. The best colors tend to appear around the paths along Tomo River at the western and southern sides of Mount Limori. As one of Japan's finest and most famed winter illuminations with over 5.8 million LEDs, you can find romantic images of mountains, oceans, flower shapes, and figures lit up among these immense flower gardens. Along with open-air hot spring foot baths, one of the must-visits when in Nagoya is the Nagoya Castle. We're used to compacting into a small simple room in Japan, but this Airbnb had more rooms than can fit us. A living room space, complete with a fully equipped kitchen and complimentary coffee and tea. Outdoor patio. I could totally see myself living and working from this house in absolute peace. Takayama is known for its local foods, including sansai, mountain vegetables, wasakana, river fish, beef, soba, ramen, and sake. In addition to its fame for its carpentry, Takayama is well known for its lacquerware, pottery, and furniture as well. Takayama Old Town, called Sanmachi Suji, is a collection of narrow lanes lined with beautifully preserved merchant houses, so it literally feels like taking a step back to the times of the samurai. Deemed cultural artifacts, the Old Town is definitely one not to be missed.
It's like a marshmallow. It's like fluffy egg white and it's very soft. It's like marshmallow but it's sweet.
Inside is not that sweet.
Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1995, they are famous for their traditional farmhouses, some of which are more than 250 years old. Shirakawa-go and neighboring Gokayama regions line the Shogawa River Valley in the remote mountains that span from Gifu to Toyama prefectures. Oh, Kanazawa. Did you know I lived here for 8 months between 2018 and 2019? Coming back here fills me with so much nostalgia. And this time, I get to take my parents who's here for the first time. Kanazawa is the capital of Ishikawa Prefecture. It's known for well-preserved Edo-era districts, art museums, and regional handicrafts. More colloquially, it's famous for being the Kyoto of the North, and its geisha districts give it a similar aesthetic to Japan's former capital. Kenroku Garden, begun in the 17th century, is celebrated for its classic landscape designs incorporating ponds and streams. Kenroku Garden is one of Japan's top 3 landscape gardens. Tateyama-Kurobe Alpine Road is a mountain sightseeing route between Tateyama in Toyama and Omachi in Nagano. That means there's only 2 ways to get to the Alpine route, and from that point on, you'll have to park your car and book your trip at the ticket kiosk. This scenic 90-kilometer path winds through the Japanese Alps. Since we begin our journey from Toyama, the west, here's the order of the typical transportation. First, if you are coming by train, you would get on the Toyama-Chiho Railway. This train gets you from Dentetsu Toyama Station, next to JR Toyama Station in central Toyama City, to Tateyama Station in about 1 hour. Since we drove, we then started our journey off on the Tateyama cable car. The cable car ascends from Tateyama Station to Bijo-daira Station in 7 minutes. Tickets need to be purchased for a specific departure time in the direction of Murodo. Highland Bus. This bus requires roughly 50 minutes for the journey between Bijo-daira Station and Murodo. During spring, the bus runs along the Tateyama Snow Corridor. It's important to account for time, as these transportation have fixed timing and you don't want to be stuck at the top with no means of getting back. In spring, accumulated snow, especially around the upper sections, form a majestic snow corridor where snow walls reach up to 20 meters high.
Yay, a change of scenery for once, even though you wouldn't have guessed it. It's November the 1st, but here we are, 2,440 meters high. Check this out. We are here in Tateyama National Park. It's mostly known for the ice wall. But as you can see, even though it's November, it's already some snow on top of the Murodo mountain. It's not yet the winter season clearly, so there is no ice wall yet, but we get to see some change in autumn colors, and the parents get to play with snow because they hardly come to see snow. So look at them playing with the snowman. What? They're trying to take a selfie with the snowman. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get through the ice, crunchy, chunky ice, without falling over. What are you trying to do? Take a selfie with the snowman. One side each.
Day 7 comprised of a leisurely drive south, with Kobe and Osaka as our final destination. Some sites we passed along the way were Junikataki Waterfalls and Kakusenkai Gorges. And we stopped by a restaurant in the middle of nowhere that's apparently a famous tofu restaurant. It's called Taniguchiya. One notable attraction that I recommend to all who pass through is the Tojinbo Cliffs. The rugged basalt cliffs averaged 30 meters in height and stretched for 1 kilometer. Dad was especially mesmerized by the eagles flying overhead. I probably have been to Osaka more times than I can count on one hand. When in Osaka, fill up on local food. My favorite would be eating fresh seafood at seafood markets. Kuromon Ichiba Market is the most famous one. Fresh lobsters and scallops are a must. It was totally orgasmic eating the lobsters fresh. I don't think there's much to be said about Osaka, except to enjoy the sights, the sounds, and the shopping. Oh, and get used to big crowds and long lines once again. You're gonna be needing patience.
So there you have it. There was our 12-day Japan road trip itinerary. A few things to keep in mind. If you're doing a road trip, definitely download Google Maps because the road signs are all in Japanese. I found Google Maps to be really reliable when it comes to navigating around Japan's terrains. If you are visiting slightly less touristy towns like Kanazawa, I would highly recommend downloading Google Translate because some of the locals, they don't really speak English, and if you're really at a local place, some of the menus and such are even in Japanese, so having the Google Translate app really helps. Another thing about Japan is that it's still pretty old school, so having cash handy will be really good because there are some places that don't accept credit cards at all. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video!